Broadcasting live from Blazemeyer Verge on the plain of Duskmorn. This is Tap Tap Concede. Welcome everybody to Tap Tap Concede. My name is Graham. Joining me is Kathleen.
Hello.
And Cameron.
Huh?
And today we're broadcasting from a freshly Halloween
zone.
Yeah, freshly Halloween set.
Good job, Ben.
Yeah. And we'll be talking about, yes, some Commander stuff and some of the new Secret Lair and I don't know, whatever else we feel like talking about. But first, I want to remind you that Tap Tap Concede is brought to you by Card Kingdom. Please check out cardkingdom.com/LRR to get yourself some magic cards. You can tell them we sent you and say, loading ready run sent me, button please, and they'll give you a little 1-inch button, which says a funny thing. We may still have How About You Na Don't, which to me gets funnier every day.
It does. It really does.
Also, want to shout out to Dragon Shield. You can use the code LRRMTG5 to get yourself 5% off purchases on their store. And you can buy Dragon Shield sleeves that we make on our store, store.loadingreadyrun.com. And of course, everything we do is brought to you by you. And your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun or by subscribing here on this YouTube channel.
There's a lot of ways to give us money because we just want to make sure that if you're feeling generous, that there's no friction between you and that feeling.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We're like the has anything made a bar bill easier to run up than the fact that you can just tap a card on on like a paddle that they bring to you?
See, this is why, because when I would go to the States for years there before tap was more universally accepted, we had it in Canada, and in the States they'd stare at you like you had a hole in your head, right, and be like, "Oh, okay, I'll swipe my card." You know, they didn't even have like chip in some places for a while.
Yeah,
Vegas, they were like, "Yep, just tap," because if any place in the States is going to maximize the ease of extracting your money from you, it's going to be Vegas.
Yeah.
If they're going to Vegas is just going to have the finest mesh sieve to catch all of the cash.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. As you just like, you walk through Vegas and you're like, where did all of my money go? It's just,
this is not to say that we're the Vegas
easy process
magic content, but we do appreciate your support.
No, I just want to, like if you're like, God, that made me laugh. You know what? Eat some beans for the week.
I mean, like the scariest one in the States was when they would take your card away.
Yeah.
You would just hand them your card and they would like disappear with it and come back sometime later and be like, yeah, okay. Like, okay, what just happened?
My parents used to run a retail shop. Do you remember the
Yep.
You had to like put the card on the thing with the carbon paper, and
I've seen that once in a cab because his machine wasn't working.
I used to volunteer.
Wow.
He pulled it out of the trunk.
Oh wow! Like, well, I can't accept your payment. Goes to the trunk, and you're just like, what's gonna happen to me?
No.
Brings out a roll of plastic.
No, he was like, no, there was some problem. It was not very exciting. He's like, oh, my machine's not working. I was like, well, I don't have cash. And he's like, I mean, that's not unreasonable. He's like, I have a thing in the back, like one of the old-fashioned things. He just went and got it. So it wasn't actually scary.
I used to volunteer for the symphony in my hometown, and we used that for all the merch.
Still.
Yeah. Well, it was, probably more than 15 years ago now. Wow. So squares weren't really a thing.
Fair.
The iPhone 3 was a twinkle in Steve Jobs' eyes.
So
4 minutes into the episode, no magic talk.
No, it's fine. Hey, this is a casual podcast.
That's true.
We're talking about the magic of near-field antennas.
Yeah. Also, like we did the thing last week where we put up like a really timely discussion on like a topic that had outraged a lot of people and like, put out some like opinions on that. And I don't want people expecting that this is the kind of thing they can get from us. Yep. We're not chasing that engagement. That was just a confluence of factors.
And the hilarious part of it was that all those extremely timely opinions were rendered completely obsolete 30 minutes before the podcast went live.
So I would like
not entirely obsolete.
Yes, exactly.
It's correct. Yes.
Yeah. What I was going to say is, I don't want to like get into it with commentators, with commenters, but the one thing that I did want to gently push back against was the people being like, "Oh, well, this aged like milk." No, it didn't. Our opinions in that episode are still completely valid about the bands and about how the bands were done and how they're affecting the format and our thoughts on them. It's just wild that, like 30 minutes before it went live, the announcement was made that Wizards is now taking over stewardship of the Commander format. Yeah, obviously, if we had known that, then we would have talked about it in that episode. But
Can you imagine if we had talked about it in that episode that we recorded 4 days before?
that would have been wild, actually.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if you can give us tips about what's going to happen 4 days before it happens, don't worry about magic nonsense. I want lottery numbers.
Yeah, exactly.
Send that information to me. We'll split it 50-50, obviously.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll buy the ticket if you tell me what the winning numbers are going to be.
yeah, even
Equal
division
labor.
of labor.
Yeah.
Alternately, if you can do that, just send a couple bucks to my Patreon, or I guess the Loading Ready Run Patreon, for me giving you that incredible idea.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
You
we did
obviously
make that
hadn't.
crap shot years and years ago where we were talking about, I think there were 3 of us talking on the couch about like, man, if I had a time machine, I'd go back 6 months and buy Jace Vryn's Prodigy when it was $5 at pre-release instead of $120, and now it's in every standard deck. And the next person is like, well, if you had a time machine and wanted to do that, why not just go back to 93 Gen Con and buy like a case of Alpha? And then we turn to you and you just say, like, ask you what you would do with a time machine. And you just yell, kill Hitler.
Yeah, right. Like everyone's thinking very narrowly about magic.
Yes.
Like, or even at least if you don't want to get into like the historical ramifications, just like a lottery ticket would be a lot easier.
Yeah, exactly. Do the Biff Tannen.
Yeah, then you don't have to sell your cards. You can just get the money.
Right. Man, could you imagine trying to like shift a pallet of Alpha?
Oh, what a pain. So, yeah, the following on from the discussion last week, they made those bannings. Myself and Wheeler and Ben gave our opinions on what we thought of the bannings and how they were going to affect the format, which, I mean, you go watch the video for some nuance. I beg people to experience nuance, but generally we were like, these are probably going to be a good change for the health of the format. I wish they hadn't happened like this, was sort of where we came out. And also, of course, there was all the shrieking, terrible pushback against it that resulted in, like actual like threats of violence and death and doxing and all that towards the people on the rules committee and the commander advisory group who didn't even know that this was happening. And as a result of that, and just the justifiable mental strain that the people on the RC were under, and I want to be clear about this because there's been some confusion about it. The rules committee went to Wizards and said, please, you have to take this. This was not Wizards stepping in and going, this is mine now. This was the rules committee going, we don't have the infrastructure to do this in a way that is safe anymore.
Yeah, this is an unpaid position.
Yeah, that's the other thing, is these are volunteers, who just love the game.
Who
Yeah.
love the game, who put their whole, who put so much time and effort into it. And, and then got threatened repeatedly.
Yeah.
And so they didn't want this to happen. Weekly MTG did a stream. Blake Rasmussen hosted a chat with Gavin Verhey and Aaron Forsyth talking about this from the Wizards' perspective. And you should go watch that because it's a Q&A and they answer some questions and they address some things head on. And their opinion of it is also they didn't want this. And that's how I feel about it, is I think this sucks, but it's what has to happen, I guess. Like nobody, like Wizards doesn't love that this is happening. The RC doesn't love that this is happening. I don't love that this is happening, but I don't see another way forward.
No,
So
I mean, not when you have like literal bad actors out there with your address.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, like I don't know. This feels Gamergate adjacent. And
It's the same kind of chud.
yeah. I don't think it's the responsibility of the adults in the room to indulge tantrums.
No, I
or
don't.
Comments I saw about people saying like, well, they must have known that this would make people angry. And like, yeah,
I guess.
I guess.
I wouldn't
I
have
don't.
thought that somebody would do that, though.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, and you're responsible for managing your anger and your temper as an adult. Like the packs say 13 plus. At least try to pretend, right? Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah.
I get that you're mad that your cards are worth less money. That sucks.
Yeah,
That
a
happens.
card game shouldn't be an investment.
Yeah. A lot of things suck in this life.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get why people are angry. I don't support the indulgence of that anger.
No.
I don't think you should wallow in your anger like this.
I think it's okay to feel angry and upset. I think all of the feelings that people are having are valid, but I think that you lose any justification for your feelings when you start taking them out on other people who have nothing to do with it. And even if they do have something to do with it, there's a line.
Yeah.
Come on, like if a kid came up to you and said, "I am going to stab you and I hate you because you're making me go to bed, or you told me I couldn't have chocolate for dinner," you'd be like, "That's super inappropriate. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
You can't threaten me because I said that you couldn't have chocolate for dinner." And realistically, I mean, I know I'm now comparing a very fancy card to chocolate for dinner, but it's something delicious that you want.
Like,
Right.
yeah, like I
do want chocolate for dinner now.
there is a level of validity to your feelings.
Oh,
if
yeah,
you are
they're very
extremely
valid.
angry about this.
Yeah, I get it.
And then you also you have the responsibility to manage those feelings. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's no more gentle way to put it than like, yeah, you can feel how you feel. It's a feeling. You are responsible for making sure that you are a functional person and not a threat to others.
I was somewhat, I don't know, bolstered, I guess, slightly by the thread of this announcement on the main Magic subreddit, that there was dismay at this result, and the dismay was not aimed at the rules committee or the
Yes.
CAG, and the dismay was not aimed at Wizards. It was sort of equally divided depending on how the individual poster chose to frame it, as either, members of the community effed up or we, the community, effed up. That like, it's like, well, that's what happens when people act like this. So I was at least encouraged to see that, because it's like, Wizards didn't want this, the rule committee didn't want this, but this is what happened. So now that this has happened, now what? Because I think there's legitimate concern with how Wizards can handle being in charge of what is legal and not, and what the rules are and not, in this format that is their biggest moneymaker, right? Like, notably, years ago, Wizards was like, hey, we have all these planeswalkers. You should make planeswalkers legal to be used as your commander. And the rules committee was like, no, we don't want to do that. And so Wizards was like, all right, we're going to print some planeswalkers that say that you can make these specific planeswalkers your commander, right? And I assume that if it had been up to whoever was making the decisions at Wizards at that time, if they had been in charge, they would have just said, new rules change. You can have planeswalkers be your commander now.
Right. Yeah.
And at the time, the rules committee was like,
No, confusing
don't do that.
bad.
Yeah.
yeah.
Too powerful, probably.
Yeah. And so there's this, where the tension exists, because Wizards prints cards and bans cards that they make in all the other formats that they're responsible for. The tension arises between printing the card and not wanting to ban the card because people have the card and they consider that there's value there, and if you ban the card, then it's lost value. And if you don't ban cards, then the format is bad and people just won't want to play it. So the tension of whether or not you ban cards exists along sort of that axis of keeping people happy
Yes. And there's a lot of obviously there's a few banned cards that we all know about, but there's a lot of other banned cards in Commander that we've all forgotten about, like Sway of the Stars. Like
Coalition Victory,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
the classics has been banned for as long as
Yes.
as Commander's been around. Where it's like, oh, that ain't fun, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking it up. Biorhythm.
Yeah, Biorhythm is banned. Like Prime Time, is Prime Time still banned?
Yeah, it's generally like A plus B combo.
Yeah.
Pieces or A combo.
So there
right?
there is a I would say a fairly common, we have a
Oh, thank God Upheaval's, but that's why no one plays Upheaval. Oh,
because it's banned.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good.
So there's lots of banned cards in Commander because, the rule committee over the years have been like, oh no, nobody likes this. So,
Well, because what was your? But the worry that I think is justified.
well, okay. I actually think that everybody, because it's going to be it was like Aaron Forsyth and Gavin and stuff
Yeah.
like that were talking, and they honestly did a great job. And I don't doubt that they are extremely good people who want the best for the format. I trust them
those
implicitly.
people.
Yeah.
Not just those people specifically, but the people who work with them, the
Yes.
people in those departments. I trust the game designers.
Yeah, absolutely. I trust everybody who works for Wizards of the Coast. I have less faith in Hasbro executives.
Yes.
To be completely frank with you.
Yeah. Yeah, when they come out and talk about, how AI is their future.
Chris Cox plays D&D with 40 to 50 people a week. Did he say that?
Yeah.
Wow. Where does he find time to work?
Yeah, he's just, but that's why he's using AI for his character sheet, so he can outsource all of that creative character building stuff that he's supposed to do with his party, and then just have a thing that he can play out with his 40 to 50 people he's playing with a week.
And that's what we all want from D&D is 90 hours of sludge.
Yeah, I want to take out that tiresome thing where I have to figure out the backstory of my character and the relationship that they have with the other people. That's the boring part. I want to roll dice and min-max.
Yeah, whenever I'm playing D&D, what I'm really thinking here is, I wish I was playing Diablo 2. I just want to click on the monsters.
Cameron and I are having a lot of fun with this, but this is stuff that's come from Hasbro.
I mean, Diablo 2 rips.
Oh,
okay, it does.
Yeah. No, I know. But I don't want that to be my
This
D&D
is the
experience.
kind of things that Hasbro has said.
Yeah.
Because Hasbro has one god, and that is the quarterly results.
Yeah.
Hasbro worships at no other altar.
Yes.
For context, if you're unfamiliar with what Kathleen's referencing, Chris Cox, who's the CEO of Hasbro, a couple weeks ago, or a month ago now,
I don't know,
spoke at a Goldman Sachs Technology Expo.
Yes.
I don't know why that's a thing that exists, and talked about how cool AI is and how he thinks that generative AI will be really good for D&D for character and story creation. And
That's the game.
the quote was that he plays. I can't remember the exact numbers. It was ludicrous numbers. It was like
I play with probably 30 or 40 people regularly.
Thank you. That's
right.
Which is a lie. No one plays with that many people regularly. But he follows it up by saying, and all of them use generative AI in their D&D stuff. And everyone else who saw this quote, who plays D&D, is like...
The reaction from the Dungeons and Dragons community was impolite.
Yeah. And so, now, consider the audience, which is...
Goldman Sachs.
Investors at a Goldman Sachs expo. Is he being serious? Or is he just going buzzword, invest your money in Hasbro? Mm-hmm. Which also is bad, but it's impossible to know these days. Even watching the recent Apple event where they were stroking themselves about how exciting Apple Intelligence, which isn't even out yet, is. And it's I don't even know if they believe this. I don't actually think they believe a lot of what they're saying. I think they just feel like they have to, so that the investors are happy, because the investors have heard that AI is the next big thing.
AI is the next big thing.
And
what's the next big thing after that?
I mean, what was the comment I wanted to make? It was that, I trust the people who make the cards.
Yeah.
I also trust that Hasbro is going to tell those people, you don't make cards, you make money. And that, like, I mean, that's...
No, I am very negative. I would describe myself as somewhat anti-corporate in my sentiments.
And so I think that they will be able to, as they have done in the past, like they banned Jace the Mind Sculptor out of Standard years ago, right? Like,
Yeah,
and
after
that was
everybody had bought it.
yeah, that was a super expensive card, and that was a whole bunch of value, just poof, right?
Yep.
Right.
But there's a very valid argument that like if we don't take action on this format, we will lose players.
Yes.
Right, and so. There's arguments that the people who eventually are in charge of Commander will be able to make to that kind of word from on high, and I hope that it goes okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like...
they've said that for now they're not looking at banning or unbanning anything. Like it's not like Wizards takes over, unbans all the, you know, they're not going to be like kicking reverse on all those things.
Right.
They're going to take
Those
some
bans
time.
are going to stand.
At least for now. But we'll see. You know, things have been unbanned from Commander, like Coco Show the Evening Star.
That's true.
Right?
Yeah.
The other thing with like bans in Standard, bans in Modern,
Bans in Standard
Right.
and Modern only affect the format for a couple of years.
right? And the other thing with bans in those formats is that those cards were playable somewhere else.
That's
right?
true.
Like J-Lo has no existence outside of Commander.
I've never heard it called J-Lo before.
I saw it somewhere and it stuck.
I mean, it's a really, really apt metaphor now.
Yeah. Like, you know, your Jace the Mind Sculptor gets banned in Standard, and you can think, well, it was only going to be it was banned. When was Kago?
I don't remember.
It was at the...
Like 2012.
But it was at the tail end of kind of when Jace was in Standard,
Yeah.
right? Like, he might have been around for 6 more months, but people were already like, yeah, this card is on its way out, and this experience sucks. And that card could be played in other formats.
Yeah, it
right?
could go into a modern deck or whatever.
Yeah, you could flip your foil Jace to a vintage player. Commander is kind of a backstop for a lot of those cards.
Yeah, this is where the last vestiges of playability for most cards.
Yeah.
Like-
So I think it's going to land different.
Yeah, not good enough for Modern, still good enough for Commander, right?
Yeah. So I don't know. It's going to be tricky, and I think there's going to be more. Commander is a format of not exclusively pet cards, because there is, like, you know, the CEDH. People play pet cards. People also like to win, right? The thing with Arcane Signet, right? Where it effectively means that you're playing a 98 card deck. The more of those get printed, the more pet cards get pushed out of the format. People will push their pet cards out of the format to stay competitive. But it is still kind of like the format where you get to play the thing that you like. Yeah. You get to play it forever.
You get to play a dumb deck.
Yeah.
You know?
So people, I don't honestly believe that Jeweled Lotus was anyone's pet card.
No, it was just super efficient and expensive.
Yeah.
I'm fine to not have it in the format, honestly, personally. I didn't have one.
Yeah.
The other thing that they touched on in that weekly MTG thing, which is not finished, like it's not rolled out or anything, but they were talking about this bracketing system that they were looking at.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas rather than
Every deck's a 7.
Yeah, rather than the current system, which is like, with not really a system, but it's like a 1 through 10 thing. This would be like an official, like, there's these 4 potentially different numbers of brackets. Gavin was saying, like, I think maybe Blake was like, it could be 5, and Gavin was saying, I actually don't like a system like that where there's a middle. I think it needs to be uneven, because otherwise you're either side of the middle.
This is a bracket 3 deck.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's basically 1, 2, 3, or 4, with the idea that if there are any cards that fall into bucket 3, your deck's a 3. If you have any cards that have been determined live in this realm, then that's where your deck is.
Yeah.
Even if it's like, oh, but it's just there for... No. That's
yeah. Like the example that I saw them use was Ancient Tomb.
Yeah.
Right? If your deck has an Ancient Tomb in it, then it's in bucket 3, bracket 3.
Yeah, and it's always like the highest bracket. So if you have a bunch of 3s but 1 5, your deck's a 5, right?
Or a
Or a 4.
yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
And then they also said, well, like maybe it's an ancient tomb themed deck, in which case you can probably ask your table,
Yeah.
right? Can we
I'm
consider
running every
this a
card
two?
that says
That says-
two,
yeah.
tomb on it.
Yeah.
Putting the 2 in ancient tomb.
And they were talking also about Sol Ring in that discussion. We touched on Sol Ring last week about how it's almost more of a mascot than it is a card. And they were like, no, look, like that's part of the format, right? Like baseline commander power level is every deck has a Sol Ring. That's 0, right? Like that's
Right.
just the
You get
baseline.
a little bit of fast mana as a treat.
Yeah, and so it's like we're not banning Sol Ring. That's just how the format works, right? It's basically like a structure. Like you've got 100 cards, one of them's your commander, one of them's a Sol Ring. That's just how it is.
Right.
And it's like, all right, sure, fine.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm fine with that.
Yeah, if Modern's the Lightning Bolt format, Commander can be the Sol Ring format. Sure. Okay. Yeah. I also saw people talking about like, what about a Canlander style point list? And I don't think that works cleanly for Commander, where you are basing your deck around an on-tap combo piece, an always available combo piece, right? I think it requires more nuance and complexity than that.
They talked about that in the stream, but I can't remember
good.
the answer.
Okay,
that they gave.
okay.
Well, because Blake's a big fan of Canlander.
Oh yeah.
What's up, Kathleen?
Oh, I was going to say, I have a suggestion. Where did it go? Yes. So Rachel Weeks has come up with an incredible commander power system that I recommend you go look on her Twitter. But it has only 2 questions for you. Hey, when you play Commander, Graham, do you play like a trail rider? You're going along for the ride and, you're just happy to enjoy the scenery with your horse? Are you playing like a rodeo rider? And maybe, playing a commander, isn't about a trophy, it's about showing off your skills? Or are you a jockey and you just want to see this baby go?
Ooh, Trail Rider, I think.
A trail rider. Now, okay, here's my second question. Now, you play lots of different commander decks, but your deck today is a sweet old gal. Maybe she ain't the fastest in the stable, nor is she the prettiest, but she's eager to please and sweet with fellow riders. Is she a show pony, a pretty pony that's here to steal the spotlight? But she may not win, but she'll wow the competition. Or is she a racehorse? She ain't the easiest to ride, but she's the fastest, strongest horse you got.
I think I want to have a show pony, but my decks tend to be sweet old gals.
Okay, well, in that case, we're going to say that your commander style, your deck, according to Rachel's system, is you are participating.
I love participating.
The show ring can be an intimidating place for any rider, especially one that's used to the trail. But you've been practicing with your show pony and are excited for a little competition. You're not expecting to wind up on the podium necessarily, but are hoping to put on a strong, clean routine and hope the same for your friends in the competition.
Wow.
Anyhow, this honestly, it's kind of a good alignment chart.
That's great.
Horse memes aside, it's kind of like, but yeah.
I like that a lot.
That's my suggestion. Just go find Rachel's Twitter.
I'm really looking forward to people experiencing the bracket for first time and finding out not only that their 7 is a 9, but that their 9 is a 4. And I'm wondering which is going to make people more unhinged.
Yeah.
Finding out that like they're the deck that they I don't know.
The deck that they think is like a finely tuned racehorse is actually like an old knobbly mare with like a hip condition.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. They're like voila, and it's like
We have objectively examined your deck and evaluated it as a 3.4.
yeah, your price stallion is actually a donkey, sir.
Yeah, we acknowledge that you have Ancient Tomb in this deck. But
this is why we said that maybe it's okay.
Yeah,
if
maybe
there's
it's
some
okay.
joke decks.
Oh, man.
wow,
Maybe
we've never
that's-
seen Grim Monolith do nothing before.
Maybe there's like maybe we should have like a commander like assessment committee.
Yeah, you have to submit your deck.
Yeah. And the commander assessment committee is just me and you.
Yeah.
I was like, we don't even know the meta that much. We're just here to roast you.
Yep, yeah, exactly. We're gonna ether your deck.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Deck ratings.
anyway, that system hasn't rolled out yet, but they wanted to share that as like, this is sort of the thing that we are working on, and we're going to continue to work on this, and this will be a thing that happens at some point. But they're working on it, and yeah, I think for now at least, I don't think anything's going to change long term. I think very little will change. I think it would be very, like, obviously I have concerns, which we've highlighted, but I think that there's, a lot of legitimate argument that can be made with, let's not mess with this thing that's working pretty well.
Yeah, I agree. So hopefully that's where Wizards leaves it. And when Hasbro is like, man, they're like, ugh.
Yeah, the worst thing is when there's like a successful restaurant that's then it goes under new management, and the new management is like, okay, everything's working great. Let's make a bunch of changes.
Yeah.
Why is it failing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, I've seen that so many times.
Yeah, we've looked at the menu and we're removing the nachos. Because that's not the vibe we want here. Why is no one coming to our restaurant anymore?
Yeah.
Also, where can I get nachos in this town?
So hopefully Wizards will be shepherding this forward in a manner that we all hope. But if not, I mean, we have avenues for feedback, I suppose.
Yeah. Also, talk to your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe if they were having big feelings about this, check in with them.
Yeah.
So, divergent from Commander.
But sort of related, because many of the things that they sell here are nice to put in Commander decks.
That's true.
Yeah.
There's some Secret Lairs that are currently, Secret Lairs that are currently up for sale. At time of recording, some of them are sold out. By the time of airing, more maybe? I don't know, but they got a new batch of Secret Lairs.
I'm excited.
and
Please show me.
We're gonna talk about them because we didn't want to spend an hour talking about
Stuff that we don't.
theorizing ways that Wizard taking over Commander could go badly or well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We could spend an hour coming up with worst case scenarios and chasing engagement.
Yeah. Tell us about it in the comments.
Yeah, tell us what we should have done to really stir that pot.
James, what's some Secret Lair we can take a look at?
All right, I'm going to just start down here at The Real Ghostbusters.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Right, animated. So based on the animated TV series of The Real Ghostbusters, which again is different from the TV series of Ghostbusters, which was totally unrelated. That was the one with like the ape.
Yeah, I remember that show. I remember like watching Ghostbusters, the animated series, as a small child and being like, what is this?
You know what? I love having missed some of the 80s North American culture because I certainly did not get Ghostbusters, the animated series.
Yeah, and so
New
that's
Zealand.
why this series was called The Real Ghostbusters, because this was the one with the people from the movies. But anyway, yeah, it's animated like that, and it's just borderless art variants of, for example, Careful Study with it's not Slimer.
Yeah.
What's Slimer's? Because Slimer, it was only this ghost was only ever called Slimer, like outside of the movies.
Yeah.
I can't remember what its name was. Onion Head?
Onion Head? I think Ben Wheeler was like...
Yeah.
Ben Wheeler knew.
Yeah. Anyway.
Onion Head sounds right.
So, we got Careful Study. Very nice. That's perfect. Living End for total containment failure.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Living End is each player exiles all cards from their graveyard, and then they sacrifice all their creatures, and then they put all the exiled cards back in the battlefield, so everything comes back from the graveyard.
All the ghosts come back.
Yeah, exactly. Eladamri's Call as Answer the Call. Very nice. Don't cross the streams. Boros Charm for Ghostbusters Patch. Oh, okay. Very cool. Deals 4 damage. Stuff gets indestructible. Gives something double strike. But as the patch, that's great. Boros Charm. Love that.
That's like a shirt of many things kind of thing. We have to tear the patch off, I guess.
Sorry. Ecto 1 is the unlicensed hearse.
Yeah, literally a hearse.
Literally is, yeah. Oh, that's very good.
All right, so that was the real Ghostbusters.
And I did see I saw on Reddit this morning what the
Do we
bonus.
have different Ghostbusters?
Well,
People have already been receiving this.
yeah.
know what the
So
bonus
I saw
is?
what the bonus card is.
Oh,
And it's Yargle and Multani, but it's Slimer and Stay Puffed.
Oh, that's cute.
So it's just a big 18.6 with Slimer and big old Stay
But it's
Puft
not going
over
to
there.
have the best flavor text.
No,
ever.
no, it doesn't. So yeah, that was the real Ghostbusters from the animated series. But then there's another Secret Lair that's just Slimer stuff.
yeah. So then there's Ghostbusters Slimer.
Oh right. So yeah, the mimeoplasm.
Right. Oh, that's a good fit.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I hate this.
Yeah. Slimer's gross.
Okay. Ugh.
Trick bind. Oh, very clever managing to avoid getting any of the.
Yeah, the face, the likeness.
Yeah, because
the-
Dan.
Or Bill Murray.
Oh yeah, Bill Murray would not let his face be put on a magic card.
Trick bind. Yeah. Slimer's feast. Oh, windfall. Okay. Yep. These are pretty great, honestly. And total containment failure, different from escape containment. What is incarnation technique?
Well, it's got demonstrate, so it's from Strixhaven.
Oh, it must be. Yeah, maybe it's a Strixhaven commander card.
Must be.
Mill 5 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield with demonstrate. Yo, I've never seen this card before.
From Commander 2021.
Yep, Strixhaven Commander. Incarnation technique. Huh. Wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
guess that's a reanimator spell.
Yeah.
And then the last Ghostbuster Slimer is Pernicious Deed.
Is that a wedding cake?
Yeah, that's a wedding cake, all right.
Yep.
Man, I mean, my opinion on a lot of Secret Lairs has been, I guess we doing this now.
Yep.
This is not for me, but I guess it wouldn't really faze me to see these across the table.
No, I mean, I dig the original Ghostbusters movie. Not enough to go out of my way to get this.
I mean, Secret Lairs are essentially like, hey, you know how people would occasionally like hire an artist to do an altar? We've hired some artists to pre-do some altars for you.
Oh man, there are some Secret Lairs in this currently available bunch that are excellent that I have actually ordered. I don't know what
Okay.
I don't know what we're looking at next. But
Next up is Tome of the Astral Sorceries. I mean, design-wise, these are gorgeous.
I didn't get this because they're all blue.
Correct.
Oh,
Yes.
I
But
did not see these.
These
were
ones rip. These are Helvetica Blanc is the artist.
nice. Okay.
So yeah, back to basics. If you're an audio only listener, I apologize, but you're just gonna have to go look at these.
Yeah.
These are very, very, very cool. Nice font too. Yeah. That was
Sphinx
a
the Second Son.
preordained Sphinx of the Second Son, and there's Teferi's Ageless Insight. They're just really
They're
very
pretty.
Is it Peach Momoko? Is that the name?
Peach, I think I said earlier in the year that why don't we have a Peach Momoko Secret Lair
I think
yet?
you did. Yeah.
You want to go to that one next?
Yeah, go for it.
All right.
This one I ordered.
There you go.
I think these are also mostly blue, but yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Ether Eyes, Drown in Dreams, Psychic Corrosion, Your Lies Become My Truth.
Oh,
Oh, sorry. Scryfall doesn't like it when there's 1,600 cards on a page, so...
Visions of Beyond.
Yeah, I've seen the other side. It saw me too.
wow.
Is this the first Visions of Beyond that doesn't have Therese Nielsen art?
Potentially.
Well, that's
That's
and,
nice.
And Time Sieve. That's
That's
wild.
the Time Sieve is a good get, I think.
and yes, Cam, it is. The only other two printings of Visions of Beyond are from Ultimate Masters and Magic 2012, and they both use the same art.
Okay, cool. So yeah, those are pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I
these
just
are
don't play that
gorgeous.
much blue, but I was like, wow, these ones are too cool. What they've gone back to the Miku well.
yeah.
Yep. They sure have. The Electric Entourage.
Because these ones, right? Because it's all the other Vocaloid voices, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not in.
Well,
on
this is Mako, but she's Chandra.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then this is another Miku, but it's fancy. Looks like wedding Miku, I guess.
Sure.
As Elspeth Terrell.
This is very nice art.
Yeah, it's
some of
beautiful.
the art in the previous Miku layer was like not my favorite, but this is at least very
Yeah.
cool looking.
Yeah.
I don't know who this Kaito is. It's not Magic's Kaito. This is a different Kaito, and this one's
Looks
Jade's.
like he's from Tokyo Mirage Sessions. I don't know if anyone's played that game, but it's an Atlas game mashed up with Fire Emblem, but with J-pop. Like, it's wild.
Okay.
Why does he have a tie? That's what that is, right? He's got a tie.
Oh, he's got Miku's tie.
Oh.
Oh, she's been killed.
This is all they found of her.
Sir, we found this on the blast zone.
She wanted you to have it. And Luca the Traveling Sound is a reprint of Liliana of the Dark Realms. This is our second Liliana reprint.
Yeah.
Of Liliana of the Dark Realms reprint.
I thought Luca was like an octopus or something. Or am I... is that like a altered kin or something of Luca?
I'm not up on the Mikus. I don't need to be.
I don't know if I've ever had primary exposure to Miku.
No.
I think I've only ever seen Miku as interpreted by other people.
I think this is...
A reprint of Fraley's with
yeah,
Miku Voice of
Fraley's.
Power. That bear looks confused.
It's a very good hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Jesper
Jesper.
Elspeth- yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if they've ever drawn Miku before, but they've drawn
very
lots
good
of magic
foreshortening.
art. Yeah. No, this is very talented.
Len and Rin, Harmony Incarnate as the Royal Scions.
That's the last one.
Okay.
I don't know who these people are.
I don't know either.
All right. You want to move on to Chucky?
There, the what?
There's a Chucky layer.
How did I? Oh, right.
Right.
I missed this one, or I forgot about this one because I was like, I have never had any. I do not have any sort of like nostalgic connection with Chucky. But yeah, Carter Doomscourge is Chucky.
I mean, the design on this is great.
Yeah,
yeah. I think this is fun.
yeah.
I don't
These
really have.
like
They look like movie posters.
I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of the
he's-
movie poster style of
Yeah,
things,
I don't have a strong attachment to Child's Play, but
no.
And then this is the flip side of it.
It's a double face card.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Oh boy! All right.
And then we get into the normal cards or the single-sided cards here.
Sorry, Jack. Chucky's back. Phyrexian Reclamation.
okay.
Is that Jeffrey Combs? Seems like a role he would play.
Wasn't Jeffrey Combs the voice of Chucky?
I don't know. He was in all the Reanimator movies.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Jeffrey Combs is.
All right. Phyrexian Reclamation. Sure.
Who was the voice of Chucky?
Varagoth Blood Sky Sire is Tiffany, Bride of Chucky. Sure.
Brad Dourif was the voice of Chucky.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Grima Wormtongue. Or the guy from Myst 3. Twin Flame. Very cool. And Genesis Chamber. Oh, no.
Okay. That's kind of funny. But
Play
I don't
Pulse
like
Factor.
this as a theme.
No.
But that's fine. It's not for me. One day there'll be a King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard Secret Lair, and then I'll buy
that
that
would look
one.
so cool, though.
Just
They
get
have such
Jason
good art.
Galea.
Yeah, just get their artist to do it.
just hire Jason Galea. It doesn't have to be King Gizzard themed, but you know how much King Gizzard fans like to collect things, right, Wizards?
Just get Jason Galea as the artist, but then have one do whatever, but have one of them be the Simic, the Lizard Wizard. Have one of them
Yeah.
be the whatever the Lizard Wizard is.
Yeah.
And Foreboding Ruins. I'm trying to think of what card would work
Could be
well
a
for a
crumbling
crumbling castle.
castle.
Yeah, exactly. What was there was
So we got two more that are out right now. We've got the I'll save the very visually cool one for last. So
Okay.
we'll do this is the showcase Duskmorn one. So
oh right, yeah.
This isn't terribly exciting, but
Cacho, what's up?
You got some cool stuff in here.
Phyrexian Metamorph, very nice. These are the ones that look like they're coming out of a 1980s science fiction television. It's like a television that's had stuff done to it, and then a creature's about to come out of it.
Yeah.
Cauldron Familiar.
Okay.
Oh, but it's a
beastie.
It's a beastie.
It's a beastie that still looks kind of like a cat.
Friendly cat. Yeah.
Very happy. Yeah. Oh, well, that makes sense. So.
Oh, Dolphy Voidwalker. Oh. What's up, buddy?
Makes sense to have them there.
Cool. Magus of the Moon.
Okay, the flavor text of having it being a number stations transmission is actually kind of wild.
I love that.
Yeah. I wonder what I like that it's a number station.
I wonder what it
I don't know
means.
what it means.
Oh, I'm sure that's a hidden code. Somebody
And then the last one.
Witch's Oven.
Oh, it got the familiar and the
of
oven.
Of course, yeah.
Perfect. There's something about that old furnace, an aroma. I think the cat wants me to see what's inside.
Recovered audio log. Hilarious.
Rip.
And then the last Secret Lair that's out right now is the Monstrous magazine.
This one I ordered.
So this one's very cool.
Yeah, because they look like old pulp comics. This is the one with the hilarious, not Doom Whisperer, but this is the lair with the hilarious typo. So
Which I will bring up next
It was
year.
$5 off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they reduced I assume because of the typo.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is weird because they haven't printed them yet. But yeah, for those keeping score at home, this particular issue of Horrors Across the Plains, which deals with Coma Cosmos Serpent, reads: this spell can't be countered. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 3/3 blue serpent creature token named Coma's Coil. That is incorrect. It is at the beginning of each upkeep that you make a Coma's Coil.
His Coma is busted. He's a big scaly guy.
This would be a more reasonable card.
Yeah.
Wow,
honestly.
they fixed Coma.
Yeah. Oh, finally.
Yeah, I don't know how this happens, but I assume that the artist was like, each upkeep? No, it's way too powerful. Your upkeep.
They probably just wrote your thinking that that's what it was because
Yeah.
it wasn't. Yeah.
At some point, text had to be transcribed, and I think a subconscious correction was applied because otherwise that's just too good.
Yeah.
But Coma is just very good.
Ravenous Chupacabra.
Perfect.
Oh god, the lighting on these is so
Good.
perfect. It's so great for this. Oh, and Mazarek, Crawl Death Priest. Wow.
Oh my God. I love this because this is actually that's just a crawl, and they have the
Golgari
death mask on. Oh my God. I love this.
I think my only critique on any of these 5 cards, other than the mistype on Coma, is I'm not a big fan of the font color choice on the bottom half of this one. I lose it a little bit in the background.
The yellow, yeah.
Yeah, but otherwise, I love these.
Yeah.
It's very of the era, and that is exactly the kind of unreadable choice they would have made in the era too.
That's fair. And then Earl is the last
Oh,
one.
right, Earl. Big Yeti. That's so cool looking. Yeah, these are sweet. What are why the issue numbers? What's the significance there? Number 124, July, August. Is it something to do with when it was originally printed? July, August? Because Earl was from one of the Commander Legends or Commander Masters or something. It was one of the bonus sets that was maybe the summer thing, but I don't know why 124.
If you know,
There's gotta be a
put it
reason.
in the comments below. This could be an Easter egg from the artist too.
Yeah.
So Earl, the Miststalker from Alara Reborn, right here.
Oh,
It's the collection number.
It is the original collector number.
Okay.
I misunderstood. I thought it was the Yeti. I thought it was the Abominable. Right, Earl the Miststalker. Okay.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
July, August.
It's just a reference to the original card.
I think that was probably when the set came out then.
Yeah, so if you look at Doom Whisperer, the original printing from Guilds, it
Right.
is collector number 69.
Nice.
Nice.
And then so the Secret Lair Doom Whisperer is issue. Wait, this is Toops. 69.
Yeah, 69 October,
November.
Yeah.
That's when that set came out. Okay, yeah. So that's really cool.
That's a great little attention to detail.
Mwah.
I love that. That's fun. And that's all the currently available layers?
I believe so. The D&D exhibition of adventure.
The one with very sexy Asterion.
Well, that's Asterian's Thirst.
Right.
I don't actually know if that one's still available.
No,
there's
it's gone.
There's also the
Evaporated.
like sort of classic looking. You
When was this?
Looting. I think this is still up for sale. Let me just double check.
I didn't see this. Dang. Oh, yeah. I did not see these.
These
are
came out,
great.
I think, at about the same time as the other Dungeons and Dragons stuff, maybe?
Oh, I love that. That's literally just the cover of the third edition monster.
Well, yeah,
manual.
these are all covers. Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember that edition of stuff was like they made
The sculpture.
Made an actual they sculpted them and then took a picture of it and printed that as the cover of the book, and they looked super, super cool.
These I think these are all gone. I think
that makes sense.
Yeah, I think these ones were the last drop.
Dang.
So,
oh well.
Not available anymore.
That's okay. Cool. Well, I don't know enough about the like value or availability of those cards to say whether or not this is like, if they're something you should pick up. That's for a Secret Lair alert. I don't know if Prof has done one of this on the set yet.
My opinion on Secret Lairs is like, if you like the art, then get them.
Yeah.
Right? And if they seem like cool cards to you, get them. I realize that they're frequently a way of picking up reprints that are otherwise inaccessible, but I wish I could just like things.
Yeah, I mean, I like lots of things. I don't have to like these things.
Yeah.
I can like insubstantial things as well.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the two of those had really great art.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't let my lack of enthusiasm for these products tinge yours. Like, it doesn't,
I
like,
never
Graham
would.
buys them.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Be free.
yeah. Yeah, to be cringe is to be free, after all.
Thank you. Yeah, I think that's everything we need to touch on for this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll be back next week to talk about other things. I think we asked some Q&A stuff, and we never got to it last week. So maybe we'll do a proper Q&A coming up soon. Or have you already said we're doing a Q&A, James?
Yeah, to you. So next week, I haven't actually asked for the questions yet. I mean, that's great. You should go and follow us on Twitter or Mastodon. That's where I'll be soliciting questions from the LRRMTG. So whichever of those two you prefer. If you prefer neither, then I'm sorry. Leave some questions in the comments of this video. Maybe I'll pick one or two.
There you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
But yeah, that's going to do it for Tap Tap Concede this week. A reminder, of course, that if you want to get yourself some cards, do that at Card Kingdom. Go to cardkingdom.com/LRR. Tell them we sent you. Get a button. Dragon Shield, get yourself 5% off if you want to buy some stuff from them. If you want to buy their stuff from us, go to store.loadingreadyrun.com. And as always, you can support us on Patreon or by becoming a member of this YouTube channel or however you wish to do so, or just by being here. That's the most important part.
Thank you.
Until next time, I have been Graham, joined by Kathleen.
Hello.
And Cameron. James has been on tech. Heather gets these online. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time.
Bye.